There are 5 agents in Valorant that are absolutely horrible for matchmaking and you should avoid playing. Some of these agents are actually very good agents, believe it or not, but they just don't meet the bar for what makes a great carry in Valorant, and picking them will put you in a very awkward position in your matches. Just being a good agent doesn't necessarily mean you're good in solo queue. You need those agents that have an incredible amount of carry potential. Those agents that allow you to put the team on your back effortlessly and climb the ranks as fast as possible. These 5 agents just don't quite meet those requirements in the current meta, and we highly recommend if you're playing them right now, you look for some alternatives. However, if you're a madman and want to struggle through it, don't be discouraged. You can definitely make them work. Today, we're going to go over why these agents aren't great, as well as break down some gameplay for each agent to give you a better idea of our reasoning. Remember though, if you do want to master any of these agents, it's not impossible. Over at SkillCapped, we can teach you everything you need to know for mastering all of these agents. We've hired some of the best players in the game for each agent to create our courses, so you'll get the highest quality tips you could possibly find, coming from players with thousands of hours on each agent. All of this also includes coaching in our Discord from some of the best players in the game, so it's easily one of the best deals you can find on the internet. So don't keep waiting around. Check out SkillCapped and we'll see you there. First up is Breach. While Breach is a great agent in the hands of a coordinated team, he's not very useful in matchmaking games. His abilities are very supportive and require your teammates to push in after you stun or flash enemies. Without proper communication, you'll often find yourself in a situation where you can't do anything on your own. Additionally, Breach doesn't provide any information gathering abilities, making him a risky pick when it comes to peeking angles. That being said, if you're playing in a coordinated team with players who know how to work with Breach's abilities, he can be incredibly powerful. His stuns and flashes can clear out areas for your duelists to take space, making it easier to plant the spike or defend a site. His ultimate, Rolling Thunder, can also be devastating in the right situation. If you're looking to play Breach in matchmaking, we highly recommend you pick up a good duo that you can make plays with. His best map by far is Fractured, due to his ability to fight aggressively on defense, but you can really only pull this off with a teammate or two helping you. Take note of how Derek fights A main on Fracture in this clip. He stuns the entrance and dumps flashes to protect his rays as they push forward to take this space. Something we noticed while watching Derek, at least in this game, is that he oftentimes will dump all of his utility rather quickly when pushing an area, making sure to make each peek as safe as possible for him and his teammates. Since Breach doesn't have any info gathering, this seems to be the better way to play him so that you can take as few risks as possible when trying to close the gap for your team. We also want to highlight the amount of comms that are needed to play this agent at a high level. As we mentioned, he's a pretty heavy support agent, and just listen to how much EG Ethan is calling when he plays Breach in just an average match.
Alright,
I'm just gonna flash B right here. You can run up with it. Camp out in the box.
Nothing in mid.
Oh my god, double satchel on 3 towards dish.
Take
They have a
it.
Vandal.
I'm gonna ult.
They're already pushing through.
Wait, arcade, lane. Right there.
Flashing arcade.
Go tower, I'm flashing. What the fuck? Flashing. Fucking broke. Dude, I'm stunned.
This is the kind of communication I saw from both Derek and Ethan when watching them, and I know from experience it's far more than you'll get from your average Breach player. So if you're really looking to play Breach, maybe pick up that microphone that you paid for and get to it. Next on our list is Harbor. While he has seen some pro play, the average player in matchmaking struggles with adapting to new agents, and Harbor is definitely not one of the more popular ones. Even if you're good with Harbor, your team will still be unsure of how to play around you, and his abilities can make it difficult for them to get picks or make plays. While his ultimate is powerful, it doesn't make up for his odd walls and lack of carry potential. On the other hand, Harbor does have potential if you take the time to learn him and communicate with your team. His abilities can create unique angles and opportunities for your team to take space and control areas of the map. If you're looking for a new agent to learn and want to try something different, Harbor might be worth exploring. We will say that oftentimes from watching Harbor gameplay, we notice that he oftentimes creates more clutter than the agent might be worth. From taking a look at some of Sam's gameplay on Harbor, notice how all of the smokes don't feel great. The first cascade he throws ends up with his teammates basically having to run through it, which is almost never good, and then his second cascade leaves some small gaps along the backside that the enemies end up swinging out of. Since all of Harbor's smokes come directly from him, it creates for these awkward scenarios where your smokes don't really cover an area, they only kind of cover it. Contrast this with an agent like Omen, Brimstone, or Astra, and it's just a lot easier to place good smokes that will protect your team. Don't let this stop you if you're looking to master the C's though, just be prepared for it to be an issue. Moving on to an agent most of you probably don't expect to be here. Chamber used to be an incredibly strong pick, but after multiple nerfs, he's fallen out of favor in the current meta. His abilities require a lot of setup and map control, leaving your team to struggle with holding down sites or retaking them without the help of a more reliable sentinel like Killjoy or Cypher. While he can still be good in the right hands, the headache of learning him isn't worth it when there are better agents available. Nonetheless, if you're comfortable with Chamber's abilities and can communicate effectively with your team, he can still be a viable pick. His traps can provide valuable information on enemy movements, and his ultimate, Tour de Force, can take out enemies with one shot, creating a powerful advantage for your team. Chamber is still the same demon that he once was when it comes to taking peeks and getting out alive. They've nerfed just about every other part of his kit, but they still left that the same because Riot does want Chamber to be playable. They just don't want him to be the all-around powerhouse he used to be. We believe Lotus and Split are his best maps right now, and would recommend that if you're looking to play Chamber, starting out on these maps and then maybe branching out to others. He's okay on Haven, Ascent, and Fracture, but will definitely feel a bit more underwhelming. Overall, we don't believe Chamber is the best Sentinel in the world right now, but he's still playable if you can't get away from that duelist playstyle. Kayo is another agent that's hard to get good value out of in matchmaking games. Despite being a powerful initiator, he consistently has one of the worst win rates across all ranks. His abilities require a lot of coordination and teamwork to use effectively, and without proper communication, you'll find yourself struggling to make plays. It's better to stick with a more reliable initiator like Sova or Sky. That said, if you're playing with a coordinated team and can effectively communicate, Kayo can be incredibly powerful. His abilities can clear out areas and take out enemies with ease, creating opportunities for your team to push in and control areas of the map. His ultimate, Null CMD, can also be devastating, allowing you to basically run over enemy teams as they can't use abilities. I do think this clip from Tens kind of showcases what you'll run into a lot of the time playing Kayo.
I can flash over for you, Sova. If you go back, if you book have go back cave.
Back cave, coming up. One more.
That's four. That's four.
I'm waiting for. Oh, wait, this out. It's probably good.
30 seconds left.
I can flash lane if you want to peek it. Go to lane close.
Spike planted.
Ready? I'm flashing it. Flashing.
Oh.
Small team.
Two back side. One more back side.
Peeking stairs on me.
Notice how he calls for his Sova to go back boathouse where he can flash for him. This flash Tens wants to throw is actually super cool, and it would really set his Sova up for success if he tried to play around it. But in matchmaking, sometimes your teammates aren't going to be quite in sync with you. As you see, the Sova ends up taking a duel before Tens actually gets the chance to flash, making them kind of miss out on an opportunity for a kill. Kayo is best played when throwing these sorts of supportive flashes, but it's really hard to be perfectly in sync with your teammates during matches like these. So most of the time when you watch Tens in this game, he just ends up flashing for himself around a corner. Lastly, we have Yoru. While he can be incredibly strong in the hands of a skilled player, he requires a lot of preparation and knowledge to play effectively. His abilities rely heavily on deception and mind game, and if you're not good at thinking about what your opponents are doing, you'll find yourself unable to make any plays. Additionally, Yoru is not a popular pick in matchmaking games, leaving your team unsure of how to play around you. It's better to stick with a more popular and reliable duelist like Reyna or Jett. On the other hand, if you enjoy playing mind games and can outsmart your opponents, Yoru can be an incredibly fun and rewarding agent to play. His abilities can create confusion and chaos in the battlefield, allowing you to catch your enemies off guard and make big plays. If you're willing to put in the time and effort to learn how to play him effectively, Yoru can be a valuable asset to any team. Take a look at this clip for Sam. One of the things to take note of is how he uses his teleports preemptively to give himself a near instant escape if he needs it. He doesn't throw them towards danger, rather he throws them towards safety so that when he's scaling up, if he needs a GTFO button, he's got it. As Sam scales through art with his team, you'll notice how he bounces his flash off the floor to give himself a quick pop flash around the corner to find his first kill. Then immediately Sam hits that GTFO button that we talked about and is suddenly back towards safety. Sam definitely takes advantage of fake TPs more than I've seen other Yoru players use them, but you'll notice how even so, he's always preemptively throwing out that gate crash to give himself the security when peeking angles. In this round, he picks up a clean 4K to help his team win, and as with everything Yoru does, it was done in style. If you're comfortable always planning ahead and micromanaging your gate crashes, Yoru might be an okay pick for you, but for most players, they'd be better off playing Jett, which is why we'd steer you away from him a bit. There you have it. Those are our 5 picks for the worst agents that you should avoid playing in Valorant if you're looking to rank up. As always though, if you're looking to learn to play any agent, we have exclusive courses over on our website that will give you breakdowns for every single agent in the game, including Gecko. Our courses are filled out with full VODs of coaching sessions, VOD reviews, and even Smurf commentaries of players showing you how to carry with those agents in your rank. So it's by far the best value you can find on the internet when it comes to improving. We also offer coaching in our Discord that you're welcome to check out, and have a top player take a look at what you're doing wrong. All this is backed by a rank improvement guarantee, so it's literally no risk. If you're really looking to improve, take advantage of that link in the description below for a discount on your subscription. Other than that, we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.